What is up, guys? We are back today with the second version of the Miata video. I don't know what was going on in the other video, but it was super hot those days that I was working on the car. It sounded like I had heat stroke or something. It was not the most coherent video. So today we're going with something a little more coherent, and I'm going to bring you up to speed on what's going on with the Miata. Alrighty, so as you can see, the title of this video is called Trouble in Paradise. And there have been some big setbacks with the Miata, but I will get to that in just a few minutes here. So first, let's go over what has changed since the last video. So one visual change that you'll notice is in the last video, this passenger side taillight was super faded on the car. So when I bought the car, this is an original taillight from the car, but when I bought the car, the taillight on this side was actually cracked, like the lens was cracked. So I was worried about getting pulled over, that kind of stuff. Obviously, nobody needs to deal with that. So I had purchased this used taillight for really cheap just to get me by. Sorry about that, I got some earplugs from working on stuff. But, the taillight's in great shape, but it's super faded, so it didn't match the car. So finally picked up a new taillight locally. So that's been replaced. And let's step on over to the interior. So as you saw in that other video, the car had that super ugly head unit, touchscreen head unit. It kind of sucked. I didn't like it. It was janky. I picked this up on Facebook Marketplace for 20 bucks. It's JVC, works great. It's got Bluetooth and everything. I sort of installed it in a sketchy manner because I didn't have the right dash kit at that time. So now I've ordered the dash kit, but I've got to reinstall it. And this process was not the most fun because, as you saw in the previous video, all the wiring and stuff, going from the car's original harness, which had been spliced for the other head unit, and then undoing all those splices and then splicing again for this head unit was a little bit of a chore. But this head unit works great. Also, when I bought the car, for some reason, the headrest speaker wires were cut, but I've got those hooked back up. Headrest speaker sounds great. It's especially nice, on these summer days, driving around with the top down. The wind doesn't wash it out, so that's nice. Another thing I did is I rebuilt the shifter, all OEM parts. This thing feels great now. So yeah, super happy about that. What else? Let's go pop the hood here, and we will chat about things in the engine bay. If you've got a Miata, shifter rebuild should definitely be one of the first things you check because those boots always tear, and once you get it rebuilt, there's like no play when it's in gear, so super nice. All right, let's go under the hood. Unfortunately, I didn't film all this stuff because it was kind of common maintenance items, and there's already a million videos on YouTube of that stuff. So what I did here was I replaced the valve cover gasket and the crank angle sensor O-ring, which is known for leaking. And luckily with that, most of my oil leaks have stopped, or at least slowed down to the point where they're not noticeable. And if you're gonna replace the crank angle sensor O-ring, definitely do it with the valve cover off, because trying to line that bad boy up otherwise is nearly impossible. Another thing you'll notice is I've got a new clutch master cylinder, and I also did the slave cylinder as well. And I've got a full stainless steel braided line, which is a very nice upgrade. My first time installing one of these. Normally I just leave the stock line in place, but this one I felt like it was time. And then this bracket was actually broken in the other video, or not the bracket, but there was the bolt had broken in the firewall. So I got that out and reinstalled the bracket. I'm not sure why my line looks so janky here. I wish it was a little more straight, but hey, it is what it is. So that just feeds down there. All right, now we get to the unfortunate part. So I bought this cobalt aluminum radiator back in April. Since then, I've only put about 200 miles on the car. And unfortunately, this thing is already leaking. You can kind of see it right there. And then, let's see, I wonder how much this filled up overnight. Doesn't look like much, but yeah, unfortunately, the radiator is leaking. So I put in a refund request, but I haven't heard back yet. But you can see where it's been leaking. So that is definitely unfortunate. This radiator was like 250 bucks, and I applied for the refund on this, and I just ordered a $100 eBay aluminum radiator. So hopefully that'll do the trick for me. From what I hear, these are all kind of manufactured in the same spot anyway. This one's just branded Cobalt, so maybe I'll have better luck with the, the other aftermarket option. But so that's kind of where the car's sitting right now. And it does seem like there's a tiny leak under here too. So it makes me wonder where that coolant leak is really coming from, but let me investigate that a little further. All right, I did some more poking around, and I don't think the leak is coming from there. That must just be from earlier. But yeah, I installed the radiator about 2.5 months ago, 200 miles ago, and like I said, I walked out the other day to drive the car, and I just noticed that puddle, and then I looked in the radiator, and I was like, dang, there's a little wet spot there. So definitely a slight leak, but pretty annoying for something new that you paid $250 for. So we'll see how Moss does on their warranty stuff. But that's kind of where the car is now. The next steps are going to be definitely want to get the bumper painted, need a new soft top, and unfortunately my brake pads are toast. So doing a video on that sometime soon. But other than that, just general maintenance. Got a lot of stuff to do. It's an old car. There's always something going on. I found out when doing the valve cover that the timing belt was original, so definitely got to do timing belt and water pump as well. So long list of stuff, but when you've got other stuff and other vehicles to maintain, it's a lot of work. But thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you on the next episode.